ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joey Stephen. I am a Canadian licensed immigration practitioner. We are starting this live monthly pre-recorded Canadian Immigration Pathway information session on employer-driven permanent residence pathways. Today we are going to discuss one major Canadian permanent residence pathway through the employer-driven programs, which can accommodate all types of individuals who are planning to migrate to Canada, including people with an advanced age, with low IELTS or language scores, and people who think they do not qualify for Canadian immigration because of restrictions in the express entry format. This session will last for about 40-45 minutes and will be live broadcast on multiple channels including Zoom and Facebook. We are also going to answer all the questions you have sent us in the past few days. Once you watch this session, live or recorded, please email your questions to questions@paulinsis.ca, and we should have an answer in the next month's event or even before that. This main 40-minute start video is pre-recorded and your questions are answered live in the live events. We invite you to bring your friends and family for this Canadian immigration information event, which is held monthly, and it provides you with clarity on approaches, especially when targeting permanent residence opportunity with a job offer. I will answer all live questions posted on Zoom chat and on Facebook Live during the live event. I would also like to remind everybody that Canadian Immigration and Citizenship Services are governed, regulated, and managed by the Canadian government, the citizens of Canada, and Canadian corporations who fall within the legal jurisdictions of the Government of Canada. Foreign nationals and foreign entities do not represent any such interest beyond a business interest. Please check the credentials of the speaker, myself, and the corporation status of the companies you are involved with in this webinar here at the studentherald.ca/certified. Please download the housekeeping document for this session. It will provide you with the contact information and general information about this event. paulinsis.co, paulinsis.co/HKE. The housekeeping document will provide you with some very important links and contact information pertaining to this program, and hopefully it could serve you as a support document for this session. This event is held every month and we will attempt to answer all your questions. There is a wrong myth that Canada only accepts immigrants through one permanent residence pathway, and that is the express entry. And that is wrong. We need to alter this myth because Canada has got multiple permanent residence pathways, both through the federal and provincial governments. Today, we are going to get to discuss one of the other pathways where a Canadian employer would determine your permanent residence. Most provinces have an employer-driven program, but the most popular ones are the federal employer-driven programs like the AIPP or the RNIP. Okay, now if you follow this link, paulinsis.co/AIPP, you will be actually taken to the Canadian government website, where you can see a chart which explains the AIPP program in a nutshell, but quite clearly. Okay, so I will try to explain the AIPP program in this presentation. We are not going to discuss the RNIP program today because it is a newer program and it is yet to be popular as the AIPP program, because AIPP program started 5 years back. The AIPP program for employers in the Atlantic provinces of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and PEI, Prince Edward Island. If an employer finds it difficult to fill vacancies by hiring locally, they are allowed to submit a request to the government and get an approval to hire foreign workers through a LMIA exempt, not an LMIA, it is exempt from LMIA, permanent residence program offered by the federal government. This process is undertaken by the Atlantic employer and it is called becoming designated. So when an Atlantic employer contacts the government and gets approval to take people who are not without an LMIA, it is an LMIA exempt permanent residence program. LMIA is a temporary resident program. Okay, a designated employer from the Atlantic region can then hire the foreign nationals based on his organization's needs. The hired foreign worker is offered the job through a job offer, and then we go to the next step. The next step involves the government funded settlement resettlement agency. Okay, it's a government funded resettlement agency. This agency works with the foreign worker to prepare a settlement plan. Once this is ready, the settlement plan and the required documentation is submitted to the provincial government, who reviews and approves it. Once it is approved, a temporary work permit is applied for and preparations for permanent residence visa for the whole family also begins preparation for submissions. The hired foreign worker arrives in Canada on a work permit, and within a month or two, permanent residence applications are submitted for the entire family. PR processing under the AIPP is fast-tracked, and families of the employee arrives in a few months. That is what the AIPP program entails. Immigration preparedness for AIPP clients. We are going now to immigration preparedness for AIPP clients. There are some eligibility conditions which we check and evaluate an AIPP selected employee. Keep in mind, 1. This is a permanent residence pathway, and therefore we counsel our clients on medical inadmissibility. Our clients must provide a disclosure on medical conditions of themselves and members of their family. 2. Again, this is a permanent residence pathway, and therefore we also counsel on criminal inadmissibility. Alright, so you must keep in mind that written disclosure on any criminal action taken among any member of the family must be disclosed. Okay, so that is also an important second step. 3. There is a requirement to finish language testing to determine the level of language skills, either English or French. If English is the medium of communication, then IELTS with a score of approximately 5 or more may be required, which is not a very tough score. It is quite easy. Okay, number 4, ECA, Educational Credential Assessment, must be completed. These are requirements for permanent residence. Number 5, even if the employer selects the candidate, the visa of the candidate may not be approved if you do not have a related work experience of at least 1 year. This has to be screened after comparing job descriptions with the NOC code, which the applicant's job. which they got. Okay, so if approached well, you may find success with the AIPP program. However, many applicants from overseas do not focus on the right employer and employment depending on their skill set and experience, and they just spam Canadian employers with their resume. This is not the right approach. Okay, so we need to be a little more careful there.